My name's Sue and I am the support worker of the Brereton and Ravenhill organisation. We started off knocking on the doors of all the residents in Brereton and Ravenhill, checking to see if our residents needed anything at all. And from there we found lots of problems. When we talk about going above and beyond, there's another side of Brereton and Ravenhill that we never really advertised, and that was the support in people's houses. We wasn't allowed in people's houses, families weren't allowed, and we'd got a lot of elderly residents who became poorly, and trying to support them getting to be seen by a doctor, we couldn't do that by standing at the door and telling the doctor, oh, they look like this. So we had to break the rule and we had to go into their homes and we had to tell the doctor what we were seeing, and we had to get them, emergency care. And that happened quite frequently. And then, we were then putting ourselves at risk. So there was a few of us that became a welfare support team. Again, we never advertised this because we kept people's details. They were private. But it happened, and people did become very sick to the point where palliative care was needed. So when we were doing palliative care, a lot of residents didn't want to go into hospital because they were scared. So some of them had partners, and because families couldn't support, we would sleep over just so that their partners could have a good night's sleep to regain their strength. We would do the basic care needs. A lot of carers were cut down from 4 times a day to once in some cases, just because the carers were restricted and some of the carers were vulnerable, so they had to stop. We worked very well with St Giles nurses. We would help put the plans in place when the partners couldn't communicate. And we also worked very well with our local doctors at Brereton Surgery, who would finish their day and come and spend an hour with our palliative care residents. For me, this whole Compassionate Communities Award is recognition to every single volunteer and resident that work together. People tell us all the time that, oh, I didn't do a lot, I just ran and got a prescription, or, I just made one trip, I went and posted something. Those volunteers don't know what was in those envelopes they posted or that prescription they collected. I spent a lot of time through COVID apologising to volunteers because I didn't answer their text, or I didn't get that craft supply where I should have done on time. And a lot of them weren't aware of the palliative care side and stuff. But those residents who feel like they only did 5 minutes, it meant 2 hours to me, and to some of our other volunteers. So whether they did 5 minutes or 10 months, we honestly thank every single one of them from the bottom of our hearts.